A cut hit different, don't it? I ain't gonna
Oh
lie,
yeah.
man.
Oh yeah.
I meant to call you before we didn't talk long enough, but I like, man, when I stepped out, bro. I
The
mean,
women
it's
was
like,
looking.
nah, bro. It's like everything you do is cool. You know what I'm saying? I was walking in the store, I kind of bumped into the door, but it was cool. Like I kind of bumped into it. It was like,
Yeah, yeah.
kind of had got a little strut in your walk. It looked like every
Facts.
woman is looking at you. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? You feel like you could
Facts.
pull all of them.
Facts. 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 Yeah, you move slower. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You
man.
talk smoother. Nah, that
I'm
gets you
like the
right.
Lions week 1. We ain't gonna talk about week 2.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what
Week two is no cut. Week 1, oh yeah, we got a cut.
I will say that much, man. It's good to have you back. I know you weren't here for
Man,
the week two breakdown of that Tampa Bay Bucks game. I know you're a Baker fan, so I'm sure you were excited a little bit, but also mad at the same time.
of
Yeah, I'm
course.
saying. But I'll talk about this, man. Week three is coming up for the Lions. They're now 1-1. How do they bounce back week three, going against the Cardinals?
Man, I don't really have a big takeaway on how
Yeah,
they bounce back because I feel as though it's really just sticking to your game plan. Be you, you
yeah,
know. And it's like Dan Campbell said, hey, he cost them that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, my players did enough. Kind of gives you flashbacks to that playoff game. However,
mm,
just go out there and be y'all, which I think they will be. You
yeah.
know, and I think it's gonna be simple, but it is a lot tougher opponent than I believe people like. I wouldn't put no bets on this game. I'm just
No,
saying,
for sure, for
I
sure.
believe we'll win definitely, but I'm also a big Kyler fan.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you knew, but like, a big Kyler fan. So, I know he's been kind of like in and out in the gutters with how people view him, but like to not we had this discussion to not have him top 10,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like absurd to me, like skill wise, talent wise,
Yeah.
he's just an
Yeah.
amazing quarterback. And he's also a key weakness of our defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very mobile, very small, very like Aiden could be wrapping him up and he could be in and
Elusive.
out of it. You know, it's very, it's very unique just to him. No quarter like Lamar is different. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Kyler is very, very like he kind of lets you get all the way up to him and then it's like you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a very fun, interesting game. I think we're home, right?
Let me just double check. I believe we're away actually.
Really?
Yeah, we're
I think
away.
that they must have a dome though.
They
So
do.
I just know golf. He domed up for this year. He
No,
domed
for
up.
sure. For sure. And I'll agree with your point, man. Kyler Murray is definitely exciting to watch. I feel like that is what makes him him. Like he's undersized, but like when he gets going, I don't believe there's a player in the NFL more exciting to watch than Kyler Murray when he gets going. Now that he has Marvin Harrison Jr. too, this team should not be slept on. And to your point, man, I think the way we bounce back, one, Ben Johnson get back to, making the right calls when you're supposed to, calling the right plays for the offense when you're supposed to, right?
Yeah,
Jared Goff has never been a top tier quarterback without a great running back behind him. We saw when he was with the Rams and Ty Gurley, and now he has two of the premier running backs in the league, and Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So what I expect to see in this game is a lot of up the middle runs, keep it simple, let the Cardinals bite on that, get Jared Goff into play action, let JMO eat, let St. Brown feast, let Laporta feast, and just get back to the Lions offense. I think if they do that, they shouldn't really have a problem. The one thing I will say to your point about Kyler Murray is like, and it's the same thing I said after the week two breakdown. And obviously he's a lot more elusive than Baker, but Aaron Glenn, just have the defense play horizontal, right? Don't allow Kyler Murray to scramble to the outside and gain chunk plays, right? I know Aiden Hutchinson wants to feast, have a crazy amount of sacks. Just play towards the sideline. Just play towards the sideline. Let him get a few yards running if he has to, but don't let him get chunk plays running because that's kind of what kills the Lions defense in every game where they play an elusive quarterback is third and short all of a sudden turns into a 20-yard scramble by the quarterback. You know what I mean? Third and
yeah.
long, like they pick it up always. So that's the only thing I would say for this game. But I expect the Lions to come in there and just be themselves ultimately. Just be
That's the
themselves.
only way they're gonna win.
Let's be honest, as adults, knowing what to get friends and loved ones for birthdays, holidays, and special occasions can be a hassle. Sometimes giving just a card and cash can come across as lazy. LewieCards remove that stigma and takes the hassle of gift giving right off your hands, allowing your gift to be the card. With different options and your ability to customize the card to your liking, you can now give someone a unique card, a premium card, the one and only card that is in and of itself the gift that keeps on giving, a gift that combines cash and a card. LewieCards, the premier card of gift giving. Get yours today at LewieCards.com. So I'll transition over to this, man, because this is really exciting, right? I did a segment on Unwarranted after week 2 for the must-win games, right? But I kind of want to hear your predictions a little bit on week 3. So I'm gonna list off a game. I'm gonna list off the games for week 3, and you just kind of tell me what you think, which team will win, and maybe if you have something you want to say about that team, go ahead and say it. But to start it off, Giants versus the Browns. I got the Browns winning. Deshaun Watson bounced back last week,
Yeah,
against the Jags. So I think they should be able to handle the Giants.
yeah. I got the Browns.
Yeah. Eagles, Saints.
Saints.
Saints look pretty good right now, don't they?
Yep.
Don't they?
Yep. I don't want to talk about it much. They got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to look back in my archive and say I said something crazy.
Right, right. No, I feel you, but hey, Clint Kubiak has that offense rolling, man. Derek Carr looks
Rolling.
good.
They got weapons.
Facts.
A lot of them. Kamara.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a Kamara fan.
I
Like
know.
I'm surprised he's just like, I don't know why. I feel like he's one of the premier running backs in the league every year, but like he goes completely under the radar. Like one of
6
the most
TDs in
elusive.
2 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had 4 TDs the previous 2 seasons.
Man. He's a good running back. He's a
It
good
must be a
running back.
contract year.
Maybe. But I will say this much. I feel like this is kind of a must-win game for the Eagles. I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this one. Aside from the Saints, I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think they need to bounce back after they let the Falcons slip away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles, man. I got a lot of faith in again, like you said, I don't want nobody to look back in his archive and say I said something crazy I didn't say, but I got some faith in Saquon, man. I can't believe the Giants let that guy go. I'm gonna move on to the Texans Vikings. I got the Texans.
I'm
I
going
have to
to
take the
take.
Texans.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take the Vikings.
Sam Darnold 3-0.
Man,
Sam Darnold
every
3-0.
year you have those weird teams. I'm not saying they're making the playoffs. They might go 7-0 and then lose the next 10.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't think the ride's over.
Yeah.
I don't think the ride's over. That's all I'm saying.
Here's what I would say. I told you I picked the Texans. I bumped into a older guy the other day. He was wearing a St. Brown jersey. And we're talking about the team a little bit. Hey, the Lions look good, this and that. And he was like, those Vikings, though, man. Who would have thought, right? They're 2-0, just beat the 49ers. And the question I asked him is the same question I'll ask you. Do you trust Sam Darnold over the next 6 weeks if you had to bet on it?
No.
And that's why I feel like I got to take the Texans. I trust CJ Stroud over the next 6 weeks. They're rolling right now. And they got 2 of the best edge rushers in the game. So I got the Texans on that one. I think Sam Darnold's going to be in for a whirlwind, ultimately.
Yeah.
I think they'll be able to get pressure on him and throw him off his spot. And he'll look like the quarterback we know him to be. Broncos, Bucks. I think this one goes without saying.
Who's okay, yeah, the Broncos. I'm gonna have to take the Bucs. Baker Mayfield continues his reign, starting off the year just phenomenally. I think the over under on that is like under 6.5.
Yeah. Against
I would take that. I see a blowout.
Yeah.
I would definitely take those points. I see a blowout.
Speaking of not saying crazy things, I definitely was one that, after that preseason, I was like, Bo Nix looks like he could be the next Drew Brees. I might want to take that. I might want to take that statement back. I got the Bucks in that one. Packers Titans. I think we all know Will Levis might throw this game away just like he did the last 2. So unfortunately, as much as I want the Titans to smack the Packers being in the NFC North, I got the Packers winning that. After the Packers Titans game, I got the Bears beating the Colts. I just don't see Anthony Richardson, his experience. I don't see him being able to handle that Bears defense, which is honestly the only reason why these games haven't been an absolute landslide for Caleb Williams and the Bears. So I'll take the Bears in that one. Do you have anything you want to say on that game?
I'll take the Colts.
I feel it. I feel it. After that,
I'll take.
Chargers Steelers.
Hey, hold on, real quick. Don't you like Richardson? He is just like a Cam Newton 2.0 waiting to happen. You
Absolutely.
know, just a beast.
Chargers Steelers. Now, for me, this was a no-brainer. I think the Steelers are rolling. I think the Steelers are rolling. Obviously, Justin Fields looks solid. TJ Watt, the rest of those guys on the Steelers defense, not to mention a well coach. I just don't see any way this game doesn't go in the Steelers' favor.
Yeah. This is a close. This is a close one. You know,
Yeah.
Harbaugh is coaching them boys up over there. They're running that ball. They're keeping the game in control. I could lean either way. I could truly lean either way. Russ
Yeah.
is still not starting.
I don't believe so. I believe Justin Fields
It's
is
still Justin. I'll
yeah.
take the Chargers.
Yeah. And it's funny. I said this is a we'll see what both teams are made of in this game. You know,
Yeah.
you feel that way? I feel that way.
Yeah.
I almost don't want to pick it a little bit.
Well, I know what the Steelers are made of, but like if Justin Fields can actually perform enough offensively to also beat the Chargers,
yeah.
It kind of makes you just be like, well, maybe we should just focus on Justin. Let's move Russ. Let's get a backup in here for Justin that's not a threat to him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, let's just take the cheaper guy. You know, I mean, they're both cheap, but the younger, cheaper guy.
For sure. For sure. I'll say Dolphins Seahawks. I'll take the Seahawks in that one.
Yeah, I don't even know who's the quarterback for the Dolphins.
Oh man. I know the name. I can't think about it. I know the name, but yeah. Panthers Raiders. Yeah, I got the Raiders in this one, but good luck to Bryce Young. You know, I really respected what Baker said. I even respected what Braun said about him. Like, keep your head up. You know, it's definitely bright futures ahead for you. But I'll take the Raiders in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Panthers. Actually, I'm surprised we have so many indifferences.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm actually taking the Panthers, bro. I feel like they're putting Andy Dalton in. You got a lot of hungry guys out there. They're all NFL players, man. They're hungry for a win. They want to play hard. So maybe they're going to play a little bit harder for Andy, but that O-line is still atrocious. But Andy's a vet, he's going to know to get that ball out quickly, get that ball up. And at the end of the day, he's either going to throw 3 picks or 3 TDs.
So. I'll take the 3 picks on the pressure that the Raiders have put on them. The Raiders are top 10 in defensive line. They got a top 10 defensive line so far this year. So I think it'll be I don't want to say I don't think it'll be a landslide, but I think it'll be a rough day for Dalton back there. 49ers Rams. I got the 49ers in this one just because the Rams are just out. I mean, they're just out players. They're just out players.
Too many. However, what they're not out is Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
I believe the 49ers are out players. Key ones. And I believe the Rams, every year in the NFL, we have certain teams that we don't know what you have. We didn't know you had Puka Nacua until you had him last year. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Rookies, these second-year guys, hey, they're starting to show up. So certain teams, hey, there's a lot of guys that are not household names, but they're really playing good football. I don't think the Rams are out of anything because I've seen Stafford do better with worse, personally.
Yeah.
So I still got them doing, well, I think the game will be close. I'm going to say it's going to be a field goal, and I'm going to go Rams.
I respect it. As much as I say the 49ers, I want the Rams to win that game. Lions Cardinals. I think this goes without saying. Everybody say the Lions on 3. 1, 2, 3. Lions.
The Cardinals. Kyler Murray is just. I'm sorry, bro. I have to be honest.
Wow, that's fair.
When we went over the schedule, this is actually one of the losses I have marked off. I said one random team and one team we know will beat us, right? I'm like, Green Bay will get a win on us. I said Chicago might get a win on us. And then I said the Cardinals. I feel like that's the sneaky random. You're like the Carolina of the last 2 years. You just get this random win on us. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Now we dropped to 1-2. I have no doubts we're gonna. I mean, I think we can go reel off 10 in a row any moment. So I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
worried.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think
Yeah.
it, yeah, I don't like the Kyler Murray thing, bro. We don't do well. He's been putting up like 30 a game.
Yeah,
Like
but he's balling.
and the way he's been passing it,
Yeah.
man, with our DBs, like I like our guy. Either look, another guy, he's either throwing 3 picks or 3 to 5 TDs.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. I respect it. I'll take the hometown team in that one. Ravens Cowboys. Oh, it got silent there.
You want me to go first now? You went first on other times. You want me to go first now? I got the Ravens.
It got silent there.
I got the Ravens
you confident?
In a landslide.
Yeah.
35-10. Big questions. Are the Cowboys okay? We'll be asking it up next week. Stay tuned.
I think this is a must-win game for both teams. I think a touchdown will decide this one. Now that you picked the Ravens, as much as I want Lamar to win this one, man, I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is unlike me, and normally throughout this season, you will not see me, pick the Cowboys in any way, shape, or form. But for this one, because you picked the Ravens, I will pick the Cowboys. I think this is a bounce back game only because the Ravens losing to the Raiders last week was closer than the Cowboys losing to the Saints. So I believe the Cowboys are just a little bit more hungry and ready to prove to the world they are who, they think they are versus the Ravens who will play this game.
Hey,
they're going to be hungry too as well, but I believe
the Ravens would be 0-3. Do you know the percent chance to make the playoffs when starting 0-3?
I'm not sure.
2%.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ravens are going to win. Trust me.
I'll say this much though, and in that division, because I had this as a must-win game.
What's Lamar's record versus the NFC?
Hey man, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? There's a lot of teams in the NFC. The Panthers are in the NFC. How many times the Ravens play the Panthers? You know what I mean?
Not many, buddy. Not many. Not many. It's a lot of Cowboys, Lions.
It's a lot of Saints.
Everybody
before
else
this year. Look, I got the Cowboys on that one. I'll stand by it, and I'll take whatever comes with the loss if that's the case.
Okay.
Because I don't like the Cowboys. You know what I mean? It's not one I would pick, but I know you're picking Lamar, so it's like I'll go with the Cowboys in this one. Chiefs Falcons. I got the Chiefs in this one.
Oh wow, I'm surprised. Man. I got the Falcons.
I bet you do.
Pacheco's out for the year. Kirk cooking. Kirk is cooking Kirk time. All right.
Yeah.
Cooking. Man, Kirk Cousins is gonna go out there, Michigan native. MSU, go green, go white. Look, Kirk's gonna cook up a hell of a feast in Arrowhead. I believe it's it's actually in Atlanta. It's in Atlanta.
It is.
It is. Yeah. Kirk's cooking, home cooking. I don't know if he married or not, but hey, it's gonna be something brown and sparkling. For you after the game, buddy, because you are going to win. We're getting you the Deshaun Watson massages.
And that's Sunday night too. Jaguars Bills. Jaguars actually made my overrated team. For the segment after this, but I'll take the Bills in this one. I think the Jaguars will start the season off 0-3.
At this point, they're not even overrated. They just suck. Okay.
Yeah.
You have an overpaid quarterback. You're not overrated. We all know you're bad. All right. So I got the Bills big time. Big blowout.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The Commanders versus the Bengals. I got the Bengals. I think that Joe Burrow gets the job done. You got the Commanders? Oh my God. I get it now. That's you see the way he set that up?
Like he has that CJ. He's the real CJ Stroud this year. Bo Nix is not. Caleb he's gonna have a tough year. It's not looking good. Jaden McDaniels, he's gonna flip the Commanders around. Dallas won't make the playoffs. The Commanders will. It'll be Philly and the Commanders. Dallas falls down. They're going to be like, wow, why did we just pay these guys? I'm telling you right now, the Commanders are a problem. Okay, Jaden McDaniels, look at him. Go watch the tape. Look at him. I think he wins. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get on the move. He's gonna save drives. Man, they might win off a field goal. I do not trust the Bengals. The Bengals got 0-5 written all over.
Yeah, I think it was nice the way you set that up by picking the Ravens and then bringing up the 0-3 start. So ultimately, when we got to the Bengals game, you could make a point as to why the Bengals aren't that team this year. I highly disagree with you. I'm not gonna necessarily list off why I disagree with you because I think, a lot of America would also disagree with you. The Commanders are, they have potential. They have
It's
potential.
early season football. Everything's a wild card game right now.
There is no way. I don't see no way.
Did you see the Patriots beating them? There's no way you saw that either.
I don't see no
Every
way.
game's a wild card game. The first 5 weeks are wild card games. I don't know what you're doing. You don't know what I'm doing. We definitely don't know what some rookies are going to do. Jaden McDaniels might all of a sudden throw 300 yards. They don't know. He's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? Caleb might run for 200. They don't know. He's a rookie.
I believe I believe what's understood don't have to be said. Have you guys heard of Rueblur? It's a social media app that appreciates you, and it's also Black owned. Guys, this app is awesome. You get to customize your feed so you only see what you want to see when you open the app, and you get to enjoy a safe environment where racism, hate speech, harassment, bullying isn't tolerated whatsoever, while enjoying a fun, mannered, respectful discourse. And to be honest with you guys, since using this app personally, I've cut out my social media usage on other apps completely in half. I like to say this app is similar to if Instagram and YouTube had a perfect baby where everything you loved was in it and everything you hated was out of it. So guys, check out Rueblur, a social media app that appreciates you. So I'm gonna go ahead and transition over to the next topic. Overrated and underrated, right? We're 3 weeks into the season. D, who do you feel is overrated? Who do you feel is underrated? I'll go standing by standing, right? So let's start with the AFC. Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots. Do you think any team is overrated? Any team is underrated?
Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
Yep.
Oh, you're going by division?
Yep. I'll go by division.
Okay. Well, the Patriots overrated. They're probably gonna lose 10 games in a row. The Jets overrated. They beat the Patriots. Let's not hype that up.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. Oh, that was an MVP game. Come on, buddy. I watched this guy beat us a long time.
Yeah.
That right there would have been a regular Tuesday game, and we don't have Tuesday games. That was normal Rodgers. That was not MVP Rodgers. It was not transcendent. All right, overrated. The Bills, I hate to say this, overrated. Your team is trash. You just have Josh Allen. All right. So you're gonna end up with 8 wins, but as the year goes on, everything's gonna start weighing on him. The hits, the games, the weeks. Your losing streak's gonna hit him hard. He's gonna have a losing streak. His mental, overrated. And then the Dolphins, unfortunately, the whole fucking division is overrated.
Yeah.
Tua's on IR. What can you do? Tua's on IR. They're not an overrated team, but your quarterback is on the IR. If you know what I'm saying, that means you're automatically out, 4 weeks? 4 to 6 weeks? Automatic. Yeah, you might lose every game.
I don't disagree with anything you said except the Bills. I think the Bills are actually underrated. I think this year, when the playoffs roll around, the Bills will be a real threat to take out a team that people have going to the Super Bowl. Other than that, though, I completely agree with your list. I think the Jets overrated. Like you said, one game you beat the Patriots and you beat the Titans. Am I supposed to believe that that's spectacular? And you scraped by the Titans. You didn't beat the Titans. You scraped by the Titans. So I agree with what you said about the Dolphins and a little bit about what you said about the Patriots. I mean, they're just inexperienced and inept, unfortunately, but they are well coached. So I believe they're accurately rated. Like if you sleep on them, they can take you down. If you don't, it should be a victory for you. I move on to the AFC West. Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos. And you don't necessarily have to say if it's for sure overrated, underrated. You could say accurately rated, and that as well.
Yeah, Broncos are trash. That's accurate.
Yeah.
The
Overrated
Chargers,
though.
huh?
Overrated though. Coming into the season,
Yeah. They thought they were going to do something with Bo Nix, so you could
I
say
believed.
overrated. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're trash. The
Yeah.
Chargers, I don't know what people are rating them, but I'm gonna say underrated because they like that. And John
Yeah.
Harbaugh is, hey, he ran here, he ran there. So guess what he's doing now?
Facts.
Running here.
Yeah.
And I love it. All right. Man, I don't know why we don't make the game easier for our quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Now Justin Herbert is gonna look like a freaking prodigy, being mad accurate. Like, bro, you remember when Lamar threw 36 touchdowns? Because they were running the ball, and then when he got in the end zone, oh, here you go, Mark Andrews.
Yep.
Running all the way down. Here you go, Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 36 TDs like that. It's not that hard. Running the ball, it's not that hard, So yeah, I'm gonna say the Chargers are underrated. They're gonna have a big year. They'll make the playoffs. The Chiefs accurately rated. They are the best team. They have the best player. Let's not even worry about that. The Raiders underrated.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a scrappy team. I'm not saying they're making the playoffs, but they may end some teams' playoff dreams at the end. 8-9 wins. I trust in them. They just don't have a quarterback. So that's it.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said. Obviously, I already said the Broncos. I think Jim Harbaugh. Is that Jim? It's not John, right? It's Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim. People forget that he's been into the Super Bowl. Like
Yeah.
people just I never understood the underrated view of him as a coach. Like he's been to the Super Bowl and then took Michigan obviously to the heights that they reached. So, I believe he'll do damage this year. But I agree with everything you said pretty much. Chiefs accurately rated. AFC North. Now this one gets tricky, right? Steelers, Browns, Ravens, Bengals.
Yeah. Okay. Real easy. The Browns are actually trash. So they're overrated because they were a playoff team. They will not be a playoff team again. The Bengals, overrated. Everybody thinks they're going to beat Mahomes and go back to the Super Bowl. I don't think people realize what NFL football really is. It is a once in a lifetime opportunity every time they go out there. You look what Mahomes is doing, no one else is doing. All right.
Facts.
Except the 49ers as an organization, not like one great quarterback. It's a little bit of Garoppolo. It's a little Garoppolo, it's a little the other guy, Purdy, right? So so I'm gonna say the Bengals are overrated. The Ravens accurately rated. They're a really good team. They'll be just fine. I'm not worried about them. The Steelers, I'm gonna say underrated. Or I'm gonna say accurately rated. They're a playoff team. I think they'll be a playoff team again.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think the Steelers are underrated. I think the Steelers are underrated. Obviously, they've always been a well-coached team. Now they have a quarterback that doesn't, make mistakes as often as quarterbacks in the previous have. So I believe the Steelers is another one of those scrappy teams. However, with the way the division is shaping up, they could actually, take some teams out along the way. Browns, I agree with you. Ravens, I'll say accurately rated. I'm not going to say underrated just yet because I feel like that would be unfair to what they've proven to be. Bengals, on the other hand, I will say overrated. And it's hard for me to not say overrated only because one playoff run to the Super Bowl, and it really hasn't been a whole lot of, winning necessarily since then or reaching those heights since then. So I would say overrated until proven otherwise. Texans, Titans, Jaguars, Colts. I mean, I don't think we have to spend too much time on this. Texans accurately rated and also underrated. They're going to do damage. Titans.
Okay.
Yeah. Titans, accurately rated. Jags, I have them on the overrated, but it's just because of Trevor Lawrence making $55 million a season with 20-32 record plus only one playoff win under his belt. I know people in Jacksonville are scratching their heads. And the Colts, accurately rated.
So accurately rated as in they won't be a playoff team. Gotcha. The Colts, underrated, clearly, because they are a really good team.
Yeah.
All right, with a really good quarterback. And I think, though, they almost made the playoffs last year with Gardner Minshew. So, underrated. The Texans, I hate to say this, my favorite quarterback playing right now is C.J. Stroud, but they are overrated. All right, you got C.J. Stroud, you got Gilmore. I mean, come on, man, 16-19 with the Bears. I don't think the Bears are that good. Everybody's hyped about the Bears defense. Okay, it was Will Levis. It was Will Levis, and he had you down 17-0. I'm not about to go crazy about your defense. All right. Will Levis had you down 17-0. It is early season stuff. Crazy things are happening. So I'm going to say the Texans are actually overrated. They should be murdering teams like the Bears. All right. And then the rest of the division
Jags.
suck. Yeah, they suck. Jags, the Titans, they all suck.
Got you.
Guys, I'm a perfectionist, and I personally believe in one of the things you should always care the most about is what you put into your body, which is why when I need a midday boost, I don't drink any energy drink. I drink excess energy drink. Why? Because there's nothing like a clean vitamin B12 energy boost in the middle of the day with zero sugar. You want to know why? Because when you take away the sugar, you get zero crash, which means you can keep winning all day. So guys, crack the seal on one of their many flavors and keep winning.
Now let's switch over to the NFC. Commanders, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants. Underrated, overrated.
I'm going to go Cowboys, overrated.
Yeah.
They lost too many guys. You're paying a lot for, honestly, some underproducers. I don't think CeeDee Lamb is a top 5 receiver. I think he's a good receiver. I think he's a good receiver. I really do. But I think sometimes we throw that top 5, top this out a lot. And CD, low-key, like, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, I know, Devontae Adams can get 1,000 yards with whoever.
Yeah, I know what you mean now, yeah.
I don't know if CD is like that. Dak is a pretty good quarterback. We can't discredit that, and he throws a pretty good ball, especially when he's force-feeding, kind of like Stafford with any number 1 receiver. He's going to get you numbers.
Yeah.
And you do that everywhere, though. I don't know. Eagles, it depends on who you asking about what they rated. I think if the expectation is, playoffs, deep runs, I think they're accurately rated. The addition of Saquon Barkley may have single-handedly saved their season.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if Saquon can get 8-9 wins with the Giants, I'm sorry. No matter how you write it, the Eagles just will win more games.
Dude.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not going to go on a 5-game skid if Saquon is in all 5 of those.
Facts.
It's just not, And then the Commanders, underrated. Jalen McDaniels, he nice. Nice.
Yeah.
All right? He's nice. I just, take less hits. You know what I'm saying? Stay creative. Stay nice out there. I think he threw a crazy. The thing is, man, these guys can throw bombs. Like they coming in now, where it's like instead of being like, oh, we can be accurate in the short field, and the occasional bomb. No accuracy in the short field, no anticipation. But I got a beautiful deep ball. Justin Fields, I don't think he can throw anything but the deep ball. Like what I'm saying? But he can throw a dot. He could throw a dot in double coverage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they got to work, he has to work on his inside game for sure, but he's beautiful. That game, you know what I'm saying? I think they're underrated. And lastly, the Giants, I think they are accurately rated or overrated, however you want to put it. They are awful. Yeah. Okay. Daniel Jones, this has to be his last year. Dear God. There has to be his last year. Yeah. Oh my God! Please let this be the last year, David Jones. It's just different when the Giants suck. You know what I'm saying? Like Eli Manning, as much as people want to talk about him, he gave you one thing: a win every other week.
And 2 Super Bowls.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
While winning every other week.
Yeah. Facts. Facts.
Just to get the Super Bowl, he might have had to lose the last 2 games of the season not to waste any wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No,
hey,
I agree with you. The Giants accurately rated. Definitely, they suck. Cowboys, I feel like every year they're overrated. I don't think it's too much to say they're a good team. Like that should be their accurate rating. They're a good team
they
with
might not make the playoffs this year, though.
yeah. No, you might be right. You might be
When you
right. But
think
I
about
would
it,
say
the NFC is stacked.
yeah, no, it is. It is. And to your point about CeeDee Lamb, I don't think it's too much to say that he's a playmaker. Like two things can be true. He's a playmaker and he's the Cowboys' only offensive playmaker. You
Yeah.
know, so, and then with the Eagles, man, to your point, I wanted you to I was gonna touch that for a second because it's just unfortunate they lost against the Falcons. So the way I had to talk about Kirk Cousins and a breakdown of that one, but man, Saquon behind Jalen Hurts, like that might be the most underrated. If they man, the Giants in the same division letting Saquon go to the Eagles might have been the dumbest decision I've ever seen in NFL
Ever.
history. Like Saquon on the Eagles, man, that 1-2 combo, like quarterback running back duo, might be the best in the league. Like
Yeah.
truthfully, you saw it. They should have beat the Falcons. Like I said in the breakdown, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just run it up the middle with Saquon. If you get the first down, game over. If you don't, you at least take 40 seconds off the clock. They
Yeah.
don't do that. And his only weakness in Saquon, to be fair, is just though he's dropped passes. Like he is prone to do that. So but definitely that
Should have ran the
combo,
ball, but yeah.
they should have. That combo is 100%. I believe it'll be either if it's not already the best duo, it'll be the best duo.
If any of the best teams in the NFC is going to have a hard time with that, the
Yeah.
Lions, the
And
49ers.
not to mention, too, he's a safety net. Like Jalen Hurts is struggling. You give it to Saquon. Like, did you see what he was doing against the Falcons, man? It was truly
Come on.
spectacular. And he's been doing that behind a bad offensive line in the Giants for the past like 5 years. Like, it's man, that letting him go might have been the dumbest decision the Giants ever made in the same division. Like, you could have at least shipped him off to the AFC. You know what I mean? Like, whatever though. But the Commanders, I agree with your point, definitely underrated. I was not trying to trash on them about them going against the Bengals. I do like McDaniels, but I just think it's more that he has to prove, and he's a rookie. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah,
he
week
his
by
his
week,
potential
week by
is
week.
there. Let's go NFC West. Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers, Rams.
I love this. Now this quite possibly is you know what? They lost round one in our who's the best division.
Yeah.
They lost round one. Hey, they said put some respect on our name.
Facts.
We got 4 playoff teams in here.
But did we
All
not
right?
say it in that division when we broke it down? If the Cardinals just had been a little bit more consistent, you're talking about one of the top 2 toughest divisions in the league. Like the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks have all made it to the Super Bowl in the past decade. If we're just being honest. Like in the past decade, it was 2024, the Seahawks went in 2014 against the Patriots. So hey man, that division is like that. And if you go back 2 decades, the Cardinals were there. You know what I'm saying? So against the Steelers. So but yeah, your take on that?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna have to take the Rams as overrated because of the injuries.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just. But I'm gonna put some respect on their name. Still, we'll see how the season goes. I'm not counting them out. Definitely not counting them out on Sunday.
Yeah.
Seahawks accurately rated. At this point, Geno Smith is not a good story. He's a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's year 3. He's doing the same thing again. 72% completion, 72 to 76. I mean, you can't ask for better, if we're being quite honest. And he stayed accurately. That's my problem with these accurate quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Some of you are overpaid and some of you are accurately paid. Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, these guys are accurately paid.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, Tua, overpaid. You know what I'm saying? You're honestly just a little bit better than those guys. Just a little bit. And those guys are getting 25 million less than you.
And to your point, you pay a guy 55 million. Now he has to throw 55 times in the game, 1 million per pass attempt. You know what I mean? To still result in a loss. I'm not bashing Jared Goff. There was some play calling
not
issues
at all,
there.
there's more than just Goff.
Yeah.
I said, Tua. You know what I'm saying? There's other guys, I mean, what's name's not even accurate. He got the money. the Jaguars quarterback.
Yep, Lawrence. Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, it's crazy. Daniel Jones got 40 a year.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
so yeah, it's a lot of overpaid guys. You know, it's not just Jared Goff. He's probably the best of them. You know, to be overpaid. You know, to be precise.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what was the last team there? Oh, in the Cardinals, underrated. No one's probably thinking you were going to do anything. You're doing something.
Yeah.
And I don't really like I said, bro. I don't get the Kyler Murray doubt. When you have a really good quarterback, you know one thing's for sure: we're not going to keep sucking. You know what I'm saying? Like every year's not bad. Like with this guy, you know what I'm saying? Every year's just not going to be bad. That's the truth.
And Marvin Harrison Jr. looks good. Yeah.
Man,
yeah. His first half, he put on a clinic. First half.
Wasn't it all in the first quarter though?
First half.
First half. I think most of it was in the first quarter though.
It was nice in the first quarter.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's insane. That's like, all right, you got yours. Okay, let me take care of everybody else now.
Yeah.
Like,
and then the Niners. Don't forget them.
Man, yeah. You know, accurately rated best team in that division. Quite possibly the best team in the NFC. We'll see how the year goes. I think the Lions will challenge them for that. I think some other teams in the NFC will challenge them for that. I think the NFC has been copying off of your blueprint. You know, like Philly's like, hey, we'll get a McCaffrey too. Got Saquon. Detroit's like, hey, we'll draft a McCaffrey. Got Gibbs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of teams in the NFC are like, actually, you know, even with the Bears, hey, give us Swift. You know, with our mobile quarterback, you know, it's mobile quarterback with the running back that can catch and run. That just seems to be a very big trend in the league. You know, and if your quarterback's not that mobile, because Caleb's not that mobile, honestly. Having that kind of running back saves your butt big time. You know what I'm saying? Really, really big time. So I'll say they're accurately rated, really good team.
I can't disagree with you. And that's the first time we agreed all day on something. The NFC West, I completely agree with that. You said Seahawks underrated, right? Cardinals underrated. Niners accurately rated.
Seahawks accurately rated. Just a really good team.
Seahawks accurately rated. Cardinals, you said, underrated. 49ers.
Rams, unfortunately, over, and 49ers accurate.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. NFC North, Vikings, Lions, Bears, Packers. Yeah, this one's going to be fun.
You know, this one's easy. This one's easy for me. Yeah. You know, Vikings, underrated. Hey, no matter how you put it, bro, we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen with Baker Mayfield. We've seen it happen with, you know, we can name off several other guys, but I won't.
Yeah.
You know, regular guys probably not going to win a Super Bowl, but they probably will end up with $100 million contract.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sam Darnold is showing you right now, because I don't know what it is, bro. I think I saw something that was crazy. They said since leaving Carolina, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield are like 48 and 15. TD to interception ratio. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just something bad going on in Carolina.
Bad organization.
Good going on with the Vikings right now. I don't expect them to beat the Lions or anything. We don't play them to the end of the year anyway.
Yeah.
But that's Sam Darnold juice. I think he might just win enough games. You know, I think mid-year, you're figured out. You're going to kind of revert back to what you were, kind of like Geno did. Like, you're going to level out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're good, but, you know, you weren't like, hey, we're going to beat everybody dominantly good.
Right,
you know,
right.
But, you know, you could win the games that you need to win, and you could play close in games that you shouldn't win, you know?
Yeah. And you got a 2-0 start, and they're at the top of the division right now.
They are. They are.
So they have a cushion, and their team, their schedule isn't that hard. Like, yeah. The Vikings are going to be scary.
You got Justin Jefferson. You can force feed that. I mean, he opens the game with 97-yard TD. Come on. Man, you know what I'm saying? Come on. How hard is it to be the quarterback when I got that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they haven't had their starting running back plan, who's really good too. You know, another like dual threat running back. Like I said, that's a trend.
And is it crazy to say that Justin Jefferson might be underrated?
He is underrated. He's the best receiver in the league. I don't think it's a debate. You know what I'm saying? If I started a league right now, I think Peyton. What Peyton Manning say? when they had they
Justin,
made
he
the
wanted
video,
Justin.
he said Justin first. All
Yeah.
right. And all the way to the point, he took Tyreek like third. He was like, I'll just take out my running back and put Tyreek in.
Yeah, which
You know
mind
what
you,
I'm
Peyton
saying?
had a crazy lineup though.
Bet he did. Double
Like,
tight
yeah,
end. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Jamar, Justin, which is crazy because isn't that what Burrow had in college? Jesus.
Hey, yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Lions
yeah, Lions
accurately rated.
accurately rated. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go underrated.
Mm.
Right? They're still the Lions, and I feel like the second we lose, you see what happens. People still act like we're the Lions of the old. You
True,
know,
true,
this is
true.
the new Lions. One loss don't mean nothing. Y'all favorite
Yeah.
team lost too. All right. The undefeated teams are teams that didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah,
So let's
yeah.
not act like every good team don't have an L except for Mahomes.
And let's
You
also
know?
say too, the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship all the way to the Super Bowl. There's only one team with a winning record from those 4 teams that played, and that's the Chiefs. Ravens haven't won a
Exactly.
game. Niners are 1-1, and we're 1-1.
Come
So,
on. You get what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So no, I'm not gonna trip out.
No time to panic in Detroit.
Not at
Bears
all. Overrated. Bears overrated.
overrated. Yeah.
Heavy on overrated.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if that defense is even like that right now. The defense literally, you locked up Will Levis. I'm sorry, I'm not moved by that.
Well, here's what I will say. Oh, go
CJ
ahead.
Stroud, you locked up CJ Stroud, but didn't I say the Texans were overrated? Okay, then you know what I'm saying. Let me see you lock up somebody I think is like that. You know what I'm saying? And I do think CJ is like that. I just don't know if his whole team is like that. You know, I think he raises their level, not they're raising his level. That's all I'm saying with CJ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, when you constantly got to raise the level of your team, that's hard. Week by week, every game throughout a long season, you're not going to beat everybody.
For sure.
Know? And what's the last team? Packers. Unfortunately, overrated.
Yeah.
You lost your quarterback. You did win a game with what's the name? Young Buck.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on that. You know what I'm saying? It was very close. He only threw the ball 13 times. Granted, I think completed 12 of them.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'd rather you be 12 or 13, 12 or 24 with a pick.
Right.
You
know, I'll say this much to your
I'm not worried about them. No, that's all. That's it. Yeah.
I'll say this much to your Bears point. The only reason why I'll say their defense is like that is because what I said after that Titans game was you won't see that at all for the rest of this league and maybe for the next few years. A block punt, return for a touchdown, and a pick six in the same game. That's hard to do, and that's all defense, and that's what won you the game. You made up for your inability to lock Will Levis down in the first half. So I'll give you props there. CJ, I really believe his team. I believe they're underrated. Their defense is like that. The defense is solid. I'm going to say they like that. The defense is solid. They got a crazy edge rush combo in Will Anderson Jr. and the other guy, I can't think of his name. And they pressured Caleb the whole time. But their defense withstood CJ Stroud with Joe Mixon and Diggs and held them to, I forgot what the score was of that game, but I believe under 20 points.
19-16.
Under 20 points and arguably put the game in Caleb's hand to win. And that's what had DJ Moore mad at the end of that game because he's like, I did everything I could to possibly to make this easier for you. And we still lost. So with that, that's the reason why I would say that. I say they're overrated because Caleb's is still a rookie. And to think that he's going to miraculously lead you to glory in his first year is just.
What DJ thinking? Man, I had because receivers are not thinking about wins. They thinking about what's going on with their career.
Yeah.
And DJ thinking I had 1,200 yards with Justin. You're supposed to be fucking Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I said this before, Justin Fields, man, look at what he's doing with the Steelers right now. And this is when we talked about the division versus division, I said, if you gave Justin Fields a decent O-line, I'm telling you, he's going to win more games than a lot of the quarterbacks who had decent O-lines who didn't win a lot of games.
He's missing a lot of reads, but at the same time, he's also you got to get all those Chicago bad habits off of him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
even with Chicago bad habits, you still win 7 games. I'm sorry, man. I felt like Justin Fields was just completely. It's the same.
Chicago, I don't think he lost yet, right?
No, and it's the same thing. I feel like with Bryce Young. If you're in a bad organization as a quarterback and you're young, it's hard to overcome that. Confidence is hard to build up. It's easy to lose. And when it comes to these young quarterbacks, like you need coaches that can dial you back in and give you layups early on in your career to build that confidence so you can be more free while you're out there. And it's just unfortunate some quarterbacks go through what they go through early, man. But and to your point against the Packers, yeah, I agree with you. Overrated. They lost their quarterback. And even coming into the season, like they had a, what did we say? Talking about the Eagles versus the Packers game. We know what you are. We hope Jordan Love is the next Aaron Rodgers, and we put above average pieces around you. And you have a great coach in Matt LaFleur who can scheme teams to death. Like you lost the quarterback, so I agree with your point. Overrated. I'm moving on to the last division, the NFC South. Saints, Bucks, Falcons, Panthers. Now, for me, this one's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, it is. The Panthers are that bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, real bad.
You might even say they were overrated in their ability to be bad or underrated in their ability to be bad.
Yeah, you knew they were going to be bad and they're going to be this bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. And they lost their best player on defense, probably the best player on their team.
Yeah.
The Saints, underrated.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We're taking it week by week, but I told you already over the phone, bro. Derek Carr is looking like that Matthew Stafford year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, out of a shitty organization, shitty situation, now I got something decent around me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can really show off who I am. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think underrated. The Falcons, I'm going to have to say accurately rated. People expect you to win that division. I don't think that is going to necessarily be easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I also don't think you end the year as a division leader.
I don't think so.
I think they finished second, though.
At best.
I think they finished second. I don't see them slipping to third. I also don't see that being a 3-team
monster.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think somebody falls off. I don't think it's...
We don't know.
I really don't know. Because I don't think it's the Saints. I definitely don't think it's the Bucs. And I don't think it's the Falcons.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But, I think it's just going to come down to who beat who. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Hey, Falcons, you had enough wins to get in there, but you let the Saints get you, you know what I'm saying, twice.
Yeah.
Or, hey, you know what I'm saying, Saints, you had 10 wins, but you got 2 losses to the Falcons.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to who beats who in that division.
Yeah.
And am I missing one?
Bucks.
Underrated.
Yeah, I know
you
you
know what I'm saying?
I knew you were going there.
I don't think everybody picked the Falcons to win a division. And once again, the Bucs are on top of that division, walking their way through this another season. I mean, beating the Lions in Detroit the way they did, that showed me a lot, bro. When Baker been in the gym.
Yeah.
I told you, Goff been in the gym because that deep ball looking different this year.
Yeah.
Baker been in the gym working on his pliability. That stuff. What's the name was on Tom Brady. He's been working on his pliability. When he ran that ball, he hit the little saucy, he got a little saucy right there and got in. And I was
hated to see it, but loved it at the same time.
That is not Baker of last year.
Facts.
That is not the accuracy.
He lost some weight too.
Come on, that's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah. Baker's looking bought in. You gave him $100 million. You gave him the confidence to, this is us, this is me, I'm here, right?
Yeah.
And he's showing you he's worth every freaking penny. Probably should have got $200 million, but instead, and I said that only because that's what they're giving guys, even though they're not worth it.
Facts.
But you took a deal that was what you're really worth. So guess what? You get to keep a team that helps you, right?
Yeah, and I believe in you.
Come on, him and Chris Godwin are linked up.
117 yards.
It's still going to be Mike Evans. They don't really have a running game. That's all they need right now is a running back. They need that dual threat back there, and that team would literally probably take off.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Panthers, like I say, underrated in their ability to be bad. When it comes to the Saints, underrated. Clint Kubiak, offensive coordinator, man, he's making that team look phenomenal right now. I can believe 40+ points against the Panthers, but doing it the next week against the Cowboys, I don't want to say okay, this is I don't want to say anything I'm gonna regret later, so I'm not gonna say it. But that's not luck. That's not luck doing that back to back. The Bucs underrated. The Bucs, Baker and that team really believes that they can actually win the Super Bowl, and they're playing like it. That win against the Lions was kind of how our win felt against the Rams last year in that wild card matchup. Like you play, it was deeper than just the game for you. It was your team proving to themselves that they could do it, and they were like that. And then when the growth out of Baker too as well, that touchdown that he ran in, I believe it was the last score of the game, and it was the game-winning drive into the third quarter when he rushes it in for the touchdown. That whole drive to me was them saying to themselves, we're not the team of old. Last year when they went down against the Lions in the playoff matchup in the divisional round, he threw an interception. So that was growth to me. And they played like it. Like you said, him and Chris Godwin locked in 117 yards on the first 7 receptions, I want to say. His first 7 passes, all to Chris Godwin, and 117 yards. Falcons, here's where it gets tricky for me, right? I will say accurately rated if you believed that Kirk Cousins would give them potential. I believe they were accurately rated. That game against the Eagles, that's why Kirk Cousins paid $100 million. You know what I mean? A lot of quarterbacks can't mentally stay in the game long enough to actually make that game-winning drive happen when it looks like the odds are against you. Like, they should have lost that game. To be honest with you, that game didn't even start until the last 2 minutes. If you really pay attention to the game, game didn't start till the last 2 minutes. Eagles slip up just once. Falcons, I mean, you see that surgical drive from Kirk Cousins? Like, that's
Yeah.
why he's paid the money he's paid. However, they got the Chiefs coming up, and they're still kind of young in some positions. But if you believe that Kirk Cousins will give them potential, I believe they were accurately rated. If you have them winning this division, however, I would say they're overrated. The Bucs, regardless of what the Saints do. The question I had after week 2 was that we talked about on the phone is, who do you trust longer on their team, Baker or Derek Carr? And it's like, Baker. Like, he's proved it last year. He can get them there. He's gotten better this year. I believe if we're talking about what team is going to fall off in that division, I don't think it'll be the Bucs. Now, between the Falcons and the Saints, who knows? But I don't think it'll be the Bucs. But yeah, man, just on another note, as we kind of wrap things up here, man, I'm looking forward to this week of football.
Yeah, got some big games.
I'm looking forward to this week of football, man.
That Dallas game,
that Ravens Cowboys game, man,
it's going to be great. I can't wait for the Lions game.
Yeah, that game is going to be important.
I mean, it hurts that we're playing quarterbacks that I like. First Baker, now Kyler. I think we'll be all right though, regardless of what that outcome is. Because what my pick is, but regardless of that outcome, I think we'll be all right. The Bears, man, who they play, or was they game?
No, they got the Bears play the. That's funny. I know exactly what team they play, and I just completely lost it. I'm not sure if it's the Colts. It's the it is the Colts. Yeah, Colts.
Yeah, I think you picked Bears. I got the Colts.
Yeah.
I do. I want to see that game. I don't think it'd be that fun to watch, except for what Anthony Richardson does. But like I said, I don't think Caleb's a bad quarterback. I think he'll definitely, do well in the league. He's
just young.
Yeah, it's young. He's a rookie year, and I think it's been way too much pressure put on him.
Spotlight.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like unheard of for a team to put together their team in preparation for you, like the way Chicago just did in preparation for Caleb.
Yeah.
You basically went and did what the Jets did for Aaron Rodgers, except you're betting it all on the number 1 draft pick of a rookie.
Facts.
And they're betting it on Aaron Rodgers with 4 MVPs.
Yeah.
And they still didn't do as much as you, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So
and also too, man, and here's the importance you notice of teams that are putting their rookie quarterbacks behind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure if you noticed or not. Patriots got Drake May sitting behind somebody, and not to mention the other guy they got sitting behind, Michael Penix on the Falcons. Like, it's important, man. It's important. You sit that quarterback behind, let him soak up the game, and then when he gets in, he's ready.
Yeah.
No.
Mahomes had to sit.
And you see what it did for him. Same thing with Jordan Love. Same thing with Rodgers. Like
Lamar
Lamar.
had to sit.
That's more the formula than this QB coming out of the draft is going to save the franchise. Like,
Yeah.
So
Everybody's not CJ Stroud.
Man, and even then, didn't CJ wasn't he? He wasn't.
It did take Jaguars to go because they were like 8-3, and they lost. They went like 2 wins the rest of the way.
Yeah.
If that. You know what I'm saying? And CJ only got to 10 wins. He was 10-7.
And to your point, you see how important confidence is. Like Jordan Love didn't take off last year until after he beat the Lions on Thanksgiving Day. That's when it was like, oh, and this guy is.
And he said what? 3 years? 2 years?
Yeah. He said a minute. So I think that's more the formula that teams are looking for than come in and save our franchise. Like, and that's too much weight to put on
Lions. We got
Brady
Hooker.
set behind Bledsoe. Like
we got Hooker sitting behind Golf.
Yeah. So
he's the future.
You believe so. I'm hoping Golf don't get injured and he has to prove it. I'm not hoping that happens though.
Not at 1-2.
Yeah.
Maybe at like 10-2.
Something like that. All right, bro.